There is no justice in heaven, a spiritual unraveling of vengeance, memory, and innocence. You're torturing yourself with your sister's death, not her body, your images of it. The scenes you keep replaying like horror films on loop. How long was she in the woods? What did he do to her? Did she cry out? Did she suffer? But she's not suffering now. You are. And maybe the very thing she'd whisper to you, through the veil that you think death placed between you, is this. I'm fine. I'm in the hands of God. I always was. So are you. Why are you grieving a body? You never had her. Not really. You had memories, moments, feelings, pictures. That's all you still have now. So what's changed? You think you're grieving her. But you're grieving your loss of illusion. You're grieving the idea that something solid and lasting was ever here to begin with. Maybe your sister's death wasn't a tragedy. Maybe it was a wake-up call, a cosmic post-it note. This life is not what you think it is. But instead of listening, you filled the silence with screams of justice. What is justice? Let's be honest. It's vengeance with good PR. He killed her, cut off his head. He made her suffer, let him rot. Let him feel what we feel. Let the monster be devoured by monsters. But justice like that is never from heaven. It's from the mountaintop of the ego screaming, I'm not like him. And maybe you're not, but you are like him in one way. You both believe in separation. You both believe in attack. And that's the real crime. You want justice. But what if your sister doesn't? You never asked her. You only asked your pain. And your pain has a thirst for blood, not for peace, because peace would require you to let go. And the ego, it doesn't let go. It sharpens its teeth and calls it healing. But what if God never saw a monster? What if God didn't see a crime? What if God only sees what God creates, and God does not create guilty things? There is no justice in heaven because there is no one to punish, no one to condemn, no sins to weigh, no monsters to cage, only innocence. Your sister's, the man's, yours. Hard to swallow? That's the ego choking on mercy. And let's not forget, we judge people on 2-hour documentaries, on headlines, on court transcripts, and think we know who they are. But they live those lives, not for 2 hours, for decades, and still we say, if it were me, I would have... Really? You sure? We judge from the outside, but the pain lived inside them, and maybe, just maybe, he was a scream no one ever heard, and now you want to scream back. So what happens when they catch the monster? They lock him up. They give the family the justice they begged for. Do they turn cartwheels? No, because the body doesn't come back, and the peace they were chasing never arrives, because justice is not peace. Justice is vengeance in a velvet robe, and the robe slips off. They spent millions to catch him, more to prosecute. DA after DA. Still, no peace. Still, sickness, stress, grief, rage. And we wonder why bodies fail. You overloaded your system with 20 years of hate, 20 years of fear, 20 years of imagining her death and rehearsing your enemy's punishment. You lived in hell. But your sister, she may be in heaven. Heaven is not the opposite of crime. It's the absence of judgment. It's not where God says, let me fix this. It's where God says, there's nothing to fix. It's where you finally remember, no one has sinned, no one is guilty. Everyone is still as God created them, including him, including you. And that is why there is no justice in heaven. Only peace, only innocence, only love that never kept score.